Hello and welcome to Unwind Sessions, where right after my shift I give the highlights of my workday and answer any questions that might have been asked at a previous session. My name is Juan. I am an English, Spanish, medical video remote consecutive interpreter with over 4 years of experience. Today is Thursday, June 24th, 2021, and I took a total of 33 sessions today. It was a mix, like always, video sessions and audio sessions. I thought I wasn't gonna get any audio sessions today, but then like about noonish or maybe a little bit later, I got like three sessions in a row, three audio sessions, which always makes it nice. The first session, um, I took the session and I answered the session and I was ready. I even got comfortable in my chair, I leaned back, I grabbed everything, I was ready. I wanted to take that little break, and all of a sudden the call dropped. So I was already comfortable, and I thought I was gonna be there at least 5 minutes. So I waited for the timer to go down to wait for the next session, and right before that, I got up, I straightened myself up, and I got ready for the camera. And what do you know? It was an audio session again. So I went back down and got comfortable with a smile, and I just got through that session. So yeah, sometimes it is like that. Sometimes you think you're gonna have it good, then all of a sudden call drops, and then you have to get back to your neutral position, right, for the camera. But this time, um, I got like they just got me. It just took me out of my comfort, right, to put me right back into it. So yeah, I thought I wanted to. I thought I would share that with you guys. So yeah, I have how many highlights? I have four highlights today. I'm gonna start with a couple of new words, and the first new word that I learned today was erythropoietin, and the Spanish translation for that is eritropoyetina. Now, the definition from labtestsonline.org says erythropoietin is a hormone produced primarily by the kidneys with small amounts made by the liver. EPO, which is the abbreviation. I can't believe I thought I was gonna forget abbreviation for a second there. Uh, Erythropoietin, or EPO, plays a key role in the production of red blood cells, which carry oxygen from the lungs into the rest of the body. So there you go. That's erythropoietin. That was a new word that I learned today. And the new term that I learned today was acanthosis nigricans. And the Spanish translation for that is acanthosis nigricans. And the definition from the mayoclinic.org says that acanthosis nigricans is a skin condition characterized by areas of dark, velvety discoloration in body folds and creases. Now, I knew about this, and I had never learned the correct term for it. I had never been asked to use it or anything, and so it's nice to know the terms of things that you already know about and you've already talked about in other sessions. Like myself, they always refer to it as like dark patches of skin, usually around the neck. And this time it was a little kid. Other times it's adults, and everybody gets it. And what has been explained by the doctors is that there is too much sugar in the body, and the body does not know, well, cannot handle it. And now this is what the doctors have said. I don't know, I haven't researched this. I probably should before letting you know this, but anyways, um, the doctors have said that there's too much sugar in the body, and the body is not able to get rid of it, so that's why they get those dark skin patches in the body. Um, so yeah, don't take my word for it. Go ahead and look it up. And yeah, I'm gonna start doing something now today. Since I have my little LCD board, there you go. You can see the first word. This is the English word. Maybe you don't need to see me. And this is the Spanish word. That way you guys can add it to your vocabulary. And here you go. This is English, and there is Spanish. I hope that um, that makes it a little easier to add the words to your vocabulary, because some of these words are really funky looking, and I just thought it would be nice if there was a way that I could put the words, the spelling of the words, so you guys can see them. And of course, I mean, I have an LCD board. How hard is it for me to just write the words and show them to you, right? So I hope that helps some of you. And I want to talk to you about another thing that happened today, and that was that um, a doctor, I don't even remember what the session was about, but the doctor said that whatever thing was the holy grail of whatever thing. And honestly, I did not know how to translate that. And the first thing that came to mind was like, all right, well, what is a holy grail, right? And I didn't know what a holy grail was, but then I remembered Indiana Jones. And I remember that they were looking for the holy grail, and that it was the cup, right, that Christ drank out of. And I remember it was a wooden cup. And I remember the wooden cup, and then I remembered my childhood days. Those were also my childhood days, but I remembered my earlier childhood days when my grandma used to force me and used to take me to church, to Catholic church, and then I remembered that they called that a cáliz. So what I actually said was el Santo cáliz, and I knew that that was right, but I wasn't that sure. So I actually went ahead and I looked it up. I mean, it was jogging my mind. It was jogging my mind back to when I was like 4 or 5, remembering my church days. So yeah, I mean, use all the resources that you can, right? I was thinking Indiana Jones. I was thinking my church days. So I went ahead and I said Santo Cáliz, and it is correct. It is correct. I want to say that it is correct because I looked it up, and that's what they call it, the Santo Cáliz, or just a cáliz. And but the correct translation should have actually been Santo Grial. So it's almost like the same, Grail, Grial, but I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever heard that, El Santo Grial, or if I have, I forgot it. Uh, I probably have, but it's not something that's important to me. I'm not religious or anything like that. So, of course, it went in one ear and it went out the other. So, I just wanted to mention this to you guys because it just seems so funny that I actually had to dig deep into my mind, think about Indiana Jones, and then think about when I used to go to church to actually know the translation for that. And yeah, I actually managed to get it right, but it was not like 100% precision, right? Grail, Grial, although it was correct and they understood me. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about in highlights is that I had a lady today with a Tennessee accent, and I know it was from Tennessee because that's what it said. They shows the state that they call us from. So she had a Tennessee accent, and the names of the medications. Oh my God, she was saying the names of the medications, but there were medications that are familiar to me, and I know these medications, but she was pronouncing them so weird, and I wanted to write down the pronunciation so that I could remember and let you know how she was pronouncing these medications. But of course, it was either write down how she was pronouncing the medications or interpret for her. So that was just too much, and I couldn't do it. So yeah, you're gonna have to take my word for it. But like, her pronunciations were out of this world. Like, I've never heard those medications pronounced like that, and I believe, I'm pretty sure she was American and she had a Tennessee accent. So it was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm not like understanding her pronunciation, but it was just so otherworldly. I don't know, so weird. And then like her syllables were a little funky too. It's just that I don't even I remember it, but um, I like I don't know. I can't even give you the example, but I just wanted to share that with you because that had never happened before. That was some weird stuff. That lady's pronunciation, and then of course I had her spell them sometimes because I couldn't understand them, and they were just like I was like, "Ah, how do you pronounce it like that? If that like I don't know." But I could show you I wish I had time and I could have written down the pronunciation so you could see what I was talking about. It was like out of this world for real. So yeah, that is going to be the highlights for today. And today I'm gonna talk about what are root words. I know that on Monday I went ahead and I gave you the the website, right, for the medical root words, prefixes, and suffixes. But I didn't really let you know why they were important. Like I just tossed it on you and I said, learn it, right? So now of course, I want you guys to learn a lot. So I'm gonna explain to you. I'm gonna give you just like a brief explanation of why roots are important. So, what are root words, right? So, root words are fragments of a word that have a meaning to them, but are, for the most part, I'm sorry, it's just that my mouse was being funky and it wasn't reacting. So root words are fragments of a word that have a meaning to them, but for the most part, they are not a complete word. In order for most root words to become a word, they need a prefix or a suffix, right? And this should already give you the idea of why root words are important, and prefixes and suffixes as well, to interpreters and to translators, right? Well, they're important to everyone, but if you're in like a linguistics field, I believe that it is going to be important. Going to be more. It's going to be much more important to you, right? Um, so yeah, and why is it important? Well, if you have a pretty good knowledge and understanding of roots, prefixes, and suffixes in the target languages or the languages that you interpret for, then this will provide an advantage because you will already have an idea of what the word is without even knowing the exact meaning. Now, I think this is very true and especially of medical interpreters because there are so many root words that are used frequently, right? Now, just to give you an example and to put this in perspective, let's take the root cardio. Now, the root cardio means heart. What are some medical words that you can think of this? And I know that right off when I said cardio, you could think of many words, and there are many words. Those neurons are firing, right? Telling you many words with the root cardio. But I'm going to share a couple of them with you, and then I'm going to break them down so you can see how to use roots and prefixes to help you decipher words that you probably have never heard before, but you are familiar with the root. So, what is one word? Cardiologist, right? Another word can be cardiopathy, and another word can be electrocardiogram. Now, for cardiologists, we have the root cardio, which means heart, so we know it means heart, and logist. Now, logist is a suffix that means person that studies something with the noun ology. Now, in this case, cardiologist means a person that studies cardiology. There you go. So every time, and you probably already know this, every time you hear the suffix logist, you know is a person that studies that thing, right? Like audiologist, um, um, damn, I'm drawing a blank right here. But yeah, just anything else that biologists, all of those nice little words that end in logis, right? We know that they study an ology. And then for the other one, cardiopathy. Now we have the root cardio and we have the suffix pathy. Now we know cardio means heart, so what does pathy mean? Pathy means feeling or disorder. So cardiopathy means they're feeling something with the heart or there's something wrong with the heart, right? So as soon as you hear it, you will know the roots, and maybe you don't know exactly what that means, but it'll make your life easier because you will kind of know what it means and you'll have an idea. And let's go and break down electrocardiogram now. And we have electro, which is a root, which means electrical or it means electricity. And then we have cardio, which means heart, and we have gram, the suffix gram, which means written, drawn, or recorded, right? So from that, we can decipher that it's something electrical or something to do with electricity of the heart and drawing or recording something, right? And of course, we know that an electrocardiogram is a recording of the heartbeats, right, of the heart through electricity. It like records the electric stimulation of the heart. So you see how, like, once you already know the roots, prefixes, suffixes, it'll be easier to decipher the words. Now you probably will not get the correct, like the 100% correct meaning, but you at least will have an idea of what the word means, right? And now you will not only not and now you will not only have just an idea of what the word means, but it will also help you if you ever hear the word for the first time, even if you don't know the meaning, you are going to be familiar with the roots, and then you can go ahead and look that word up, and it'll be easier to look up because you're familiar with the roots, prefixes, and suffixes that you heard, so it'll be easier to find it. And even if you are just familiar with the root, then you already know part of the word for sure. You know it has a root that you already know. So the rest will be just looking the parts of the word that you don't know. So that's why I consider roots, prefixes, and suffixes uh, a really handy tool for interpreters and translators, but especially if you're in the medical field, because there's a lot of words that use a lot of roots in medical terminology now. So believe me, that'll help you look up the words faster. That'll give you an idea of the meaning, and it'll be easier to look up the words because you already know part of it, right? Or if you know the whole word, then you already know the word. You just don't know what it means, or you just don't know the translation that you need. So go ahead and learn those root words, prefixes, and suffixes. Now, I do have to let you know that I don't know every root, every prefix, or every suffix for medical terms, but I do have a good knowledge and a good understanding of them. When I was starting to become a medical interpreter, I looked up some resources, and there was a very good resource that I wanted to share with you guys the other day when I shared the other page, but I couldn't find it. But what I showed you, I believe it is a pretty good resource because I actually looked through it and I find it very complete, and that should be enough to get you started. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're new to my videos, it should be the video labeled. I can't remember the beginning title, but and med roots. I don't remember what it said, but it should have and med roots in there. So go ahead and look that up, and you will find a very good resource for learning root, the roots, the suffixes, and the prefixes of medical terms. And also, if you go ahead and look up medical roots, or medical groups, prefixes, and suffixes in Google, that is going to give you a whole bunch of results where you could find a lot of resources, and maybe you could find that really good resource that I mentioned. It because some of them give you like an opportunity to practice right on the website. So I know that one did, but I couldn't find it, and I thought I had it bookmarked. But I mean, I have so many bookmarks. I probably should be clearing them out soon. I don't know when. I don't expect that to be that soon. Ahorita. If you know Spanish, that could be like right now, 5 minutes from now, later, never. So yeah, like a good Mexican, I'm gonna get on that ahorita. And yeah, so I believe that should be enough information to get you started on your medical root prefixes and suffixes quest. And another thing, remember that it is also very important to learn the roots, the prefixes, and the suffixes for all of the languages that you work with. It's not only good enough to know them in one language and be able to decipher the words in one language, but you actually, since you're working with languages and translating and interpreting, so it makes sense to go ahead and actually learn them in the languages that you use, right? So that is going to be pretty much it for me today. Please leave your questions on the comments and I will answer some of them on the next session. Remember that I'll be here every Monday through Friday after work. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video and have not done so for more content. And don't forget to share. Happy interpreting. Goodbye.